There's something wistful about watching a long-running nameplate prepare to pass the torch, and that's exactly where Audi finds itself as the curtain falls on the A4's three-decade run. Rather than letting the nameplate fade into obscurity, the brand has opted to reassign its final combustion engine sedan the A5 badge, an odd-numbered moniker reserved for petrol-powered models, while reserving even numbers exclusively for its growing all-electric lineup. In doing so, Audi isn't retiring the A4 so much as giving it a fresh identity, ensuring that everything drivers have loved about its blend of grace, refinement, and everyday usability will live on under a new badge. It's an elegant solution to a modern dilemma: how to honor a beloved tradition even as the industry hurtles toward electrification. Few cars have inhabited the sweet spot the way the A4 has. It never chased the loud theatrics of some rivals, nor did it indulge in the more esoteric engineering stunts of boutique brands. Instead, it found strength in its poise, earning a loyal following among drivers who valued a sedan that could glide through city traffic one day, carve canyons through mountain passes the next, and still come home offering more cargo room than many hatchbacks. Yes, there were the high-octane S4 variants that poked at the horizon of true performance, and the rugged all-road wagons that hinted at off-road adventure, but at its core sat a vehicle for which everyday excellence was not a marketing slogan but an actual mechanical ethos. Underneath that unassuming aluminum hood, the final combustion A4 soldiered on with its familiar 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder heart, supplemented by a discreet 12-volt hybrid system designed to smooth out low-speed stop-and-go traffic and reclaim a few extra percentage points of fuel economy. Buyers could choose the A440, putting a polite 201 horsepower to the pavement, or upgrade to the A445 and command a more vigorous 261 horses when the mood struck. In either guise, Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system channel torque to whichever wheels had the most grip, and a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox managed lightning-quick upshifts and downshifts with barely a blink. For those who lament the disappearance of the manual stick, its absence might sting on paper, but in practice the seamless automatic often delivered swifter responses than many human-driven shifts. Numbers, of course, only tell part of the story. The A445 surprises with a 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint in about 4.8 seconds, a figure that places it squarely among the quickest entries in its class. Yet it doesn't feel frantic or skittish in everyday driving. There's a smoothness in the way the boost arrives, a gentle nudge around town, a confident shove on the highway, and a linear build that lets you dial in exactly the level of urgency you need without any rough edges. Remarkably, even with that extra punch, the 45 manages fuel economy numbers that defy its performance pedigree, around the mid-20s in city driving and cresting into the low 30s on the highway if you coax it. During our most recent extended run, the 45 even flirted with 33 miles per gallon on a suburban freeway cruise, a testament to how small displacement turbos and mild hybrid tech can play nice with real-world efficiency. Stepping inside the cabin, the A4 was never about prefacing opulence with an exorbitant price tag. Instead, it mastered the art of subtle luxury: crisp, laser-cut vents, the tactile precision of its drive selector, and dashboards that seemed less a jumble of plastics and more a series of interlocking surfaces crafted to feel solid under your fingertips. The last year A4 carried forward many of these elements, while adding newly standard conveniences that spoke to modern expectations: remote engine start through the My Audi smartphone app, rear USB-C outlets that kept backseat passengers tethered to their devices, and a digital instrument cluster that could swap between traditional speedo and tack layouts and more adventurous readouts for navigation or performance metrics. On the exterior, it would be easy to mistake the outgoing A4 for yesterday's news if you didn't know where to look. In truth, Audi applied a subtle brush-up for its swan song, new 18-inch wheel designs that offered a richer visual texture, while the S-Line and Prestige trims could don the S-Line Plus package, which swapped in 19-inch alloys, red brake calipers peeking from behind multi-spoke rims, and carbon fiber interior accents that suggested a more focused driving intent. The lighting signatures, those sharply angled headlights and the dynamic turn signals, felt like a final flourish, a way of reminding onlookers that, even as numbers shift in a naming hierarchy, this car remained unmistakably part of the four-ringed family. Of course, none of these updates mattered much unless the price stayed within reach. Audi had long positioned the A4 as a value proposition among European luxury imports, and its final combustion edition maintained that stance with starting MSRPs that hovered between $43,000 for the base premium model and climbed to around $52,000 for the fully outfitted Prestige variants, in a segment where every dollar invites a glance at BMW's 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, or the up-and-coming rivals from Genesis and Volvo. Keeping the A for pricing competitive was vital. The fact that buyers could get all-wheel drive, a digital cockpit, and genuine performance without wincing at a 6-figure sticker spoke volumes about the brand's commitment to accessible refinement.